We're in COVID mode. No, we're not. So, we're actually here at, what's the name of the club?
Great Lakers Auto Club here in Michigan City.
So they have a shop here where guys can work and keep their cars. And you guys probably remember JJ from our adventures with Enron. I actually came by out his way to pick up the parts for the small block build. And today, I actually want to talk to him about his car. You guys, I don't think he's done videos on his car where he showed you how he's checked stuff, and I think I posted the video with another one. But I'm going to let him talk about his car, the history of the car, and you know, kind of where it's at and where it's been, and show you guys some of the things that he's got going on. So we'll let my wife get in on the action, and he'll walk her through it and talk to you guys about it.
All right. Well, my car is a '71 Cutlass Supreme. I bought it actually from another member here, who bought it from another member here. When I bought it in '96, yes, I said '96, it had been sitting for 7 or 8 years when I got it. The guy who originally had it bought all the parts to fix the front end and then never did. And so another buddy of mine ended up buying it, and I actually helped him put it together, get it started, and then he raced it. It ran 1560s, I think, or whatever. And then I was actually looking for a GTO or a Le Mans, a 71 or a 72 is what was my dream car. And he kept trying to sell me this car. I'm like, no, I want a Le Mans. I want a Le Mans. And finally he ended up selling me the Cutlass. So when I got it originally, it had a stock 350 4-barrel, had a turbo 350 trans, and I think it had the 8.2 rear end in it, because I actually still have the original rear end and the original trans and the original motor. But it was stripped down, had rust holes in it, was baby shit green, or the green, as everybody would describe it, green your grandma's kitchen used to be. But I'm sure Copper will put some pictures on. I'll send them to him of what the car looked like when I got it. And we took it to high school auto body in '96, '97, put quarters on it, did a bunch of body work. We found out we took the vinyl top off, there was rust holes in the roof. And, you know, we kind of did the best repair high school students could do and bonded the shit out of it and put it back together. And the car looked decent, and we painted it. The paint supplier, which is the local parts store here, mixed up the wrong paint. This car, I think it's code 42. No, there's, I can't read it real quick. Yeah, 42. And Limelight Green, well, it's not Limelight in Oldsmobile, but in GM Chevy, it's Limelight Green is 43. So they mixed up 43, not 42. So the car was a brighter color than it was supposed to be. And then we put a big hood scoop on it shortly after that, and still 350, and ran it with the 350, put a performer on it, put headers on it, cut the tailpipes off, put just regular chamber mufflers. And then a couple years after that, we put a 410 rear end in it and a posi unit, and got the car into the low 14s, I think, with that combination. And you know, like everybody else, you want to go faster, so we put a 455 in it, which I got from a friend of mine. We put it together, and different versions of that, and then painted the car blue, I think around 2000-ish, and then put a cage in it around 2000, well, not a cage, a roll bar, around 2000, and raced the car pretty consistently, mid-12s, had a lot of fun with it. And then life takes its changes. Had a set of twins, and the car went on the back burner for 8 years. And sat around because we hurt the motor, and then blew the transmission. I actually had a 400 Pontiac in this at that point in time.
I forgot about that. You did.
I did.
You had a Pontiac 400 in it.
I had a Pontiac 400 in here that was supposed to go on my dad's GTO, and then the transmission went out, and I couldn't afford to do anything with it, so the car sat. We actually put the motor in another car at some point in time, and then about 2009, 2010, I don't remember what year for sure, had a good job, had some extra money, put the car back together, raced it a couple of years, and then by then from it sitting, the body was rusting through, had to send it off, and a good friend of mine went through and redid all the body work on it, did great work, fixed all the sins from the previous body work, and fixed it, made it look really good. I've abused it since then, but you know, it looked really good for a little while. And then we built 2 years ago. People have mixed opinions, but Mark Smith built me a real nice 461 with billet bore main caps, Eagle rotating assembly, SRP pistons, Edelbrock heads that were ported and polished, and a bunch of work done too by my good friend Keith Danuck at Danuck Racing. He did a bunch of work on them. You know, can't think of the name of the place that did my intake redo. The one you got your transmission from.
Oh, Mike Gallo over at Protohawk.
Protohawk, yes, Protohawk. He did it, and then Dave Meyer did a bunch of port work and cleaned it up and did a bunch of work on the intake to make it fit the Dominator, since the Dominator flange isn't available anymore. JCE Fuel Systems did my carburetor, went through, converted it to E85 from regular gas 1150 Dominator. It now runs on E85, which this whole combination does. Roller cam, roller lifters, obviously, roller rockers. Nothing super out of the ordinary. Everything in here you can buy pretty much out of the catalog, except for the 4 volts, which is a custom thing. But other than that, everything 2-inch hooker headers, which you can't even buy them anymore. Electric water pump, nothing super snazzy.
So let me,
go ahead.
Before I cut you off, guys, I should have him let you know about the cool way he runs his water pump. Not to cut him off, but I'm sure guys have done this before. But he's running a Chevy style water pump with those cool aluminum adapters. Nothing new, but just something really cool to note about his setup, which he said the electric water pump, and that's just one really cool little detail that he's got, that a friend of his made the adapter plates for him to run a Chevy style Messiah water pump, because the Oldsmobile stuff really costs an arm and a leg. So just creative ways that guys like JJ and I, you know, we do things a little creatively and have friends who hook us up to make things work and save us some money. So I'll let him get back to it. Sorry. It was just a really cool
no, that's
detail.
fine. Actually, to add a little bit to that, I did actually buy the Oldsmobile water pump for this, and the motor took a dump on me in the middle of racing season. And a friend of mine had the small block one, which I ended up buying real cheap to put on here just to keep racing. And that's why it came about. And a friend of mine said, oh yeah, I can make you the adapters, and we put it on. So it opens the options up. But since we're going to talk about some other things we've done, this is actually a small block Chevy alternator mount. And then I've made the spacers and the bolts to move it out and mount it on this side to make everything work. Because I had the factory one over there and it was high and it was just kind of a pain. I wish it was a little lower, but that's kind of the way it worked out. But it's over here, more out of the way from over there. You're not as high and up in the air. All right. Like I said, the hookers, and then I run a Outlaw style Flowmaster muffler on it. Car's loud, but I like having mufflers because it's quieter in the car than open headers. And many of these changes have happened over the years. Like I said, this is the current setup. Turbo 400 trans, locally built trans brake. I had a Ultimate converters in it last year that I borrowed. That was a 5,000 stall. I got still the old 10 bolt in the back, 8.5. I'm running 410 gears now. And with my 29.5 inch tall slick, I ran an 1142 was the best pass. I'm pretty sure I was running an 1130, 839, but I had to kill it because we were running in a bracket race, so I was going way too fast, and I knew it. I still didn't kill enough. But anyways, beyond that, the rest of the car is pretty boring. We did do tubular control arms up front.
Well, let me interject here. Sorry, but you said 1139. 1039.
1039. I do that all the time.
So no, I do it too.
1039. I think this car was on a 1039 or a 1038. I wanted to get it out last fall. Just didn't happen. We were messing with the Enron a little too much, and other stuff happened. I didn't get it out to really get a good number with it. But tubular A-arms, coilover, Viking coilovers, double adjustables. Getting ready, and it's in the box back there. Put a rack and pinion on the front, hopefully. Maybe not this year, but next year, do some other little mods to it. But it's fairly simple up front. The interior, like I said, we got a technically an 8-point roll bar in here. And I did the swing out bars, but as I was talking with Copper beforehand, they're pointless. The seat boasters are just as high as the bar, and I never swing them out. I run an electric shifter for consistency. I got the controller that has the 2 different shift points in it and everything in it. You know, my gauge is oil pressure, volts, water, oil temp it says, but it's for the trans temp, vacuum. You know, I just put that new steering wheel on. I've run the same one till that for 20 plus years and just changed it. The Kirky seats. We put carpeting in it. My wife did an awesome job putting a headliner in it when we redid it.
The dome light still works.
Dome light still works.
That's awesome.
When we redid it five years ago, we put a new headliner in it. First time the car, the whole time I owned it, ever had a headliner. We dyed the dash black. You know, we just went through and did. I even bought the sill plates. And I still need door panels, but I'm torn on what I want to do on door panels.
It's just a hard-working race car.
It is a hard-working race car and a good-working race car. We're actually in the process. We're going to be in the process. This rear end's going to come out. I got to change the gear. I got the poor man's disc brake set up for this. I got disc brakes off of a 2000 Blazer, and I'm working on making all that fit because when I did this rear end years ago, before I knew any better, I did 33 spline axles, and I had to change the housing ends on the end of the big bearing forward, so everything has to be machined to fit over the big bearing. Coilovers in the rear. I did a lot of custom work for upper mounts to make it adjustable. I don't know if you can get in there or not, but you can see I put the upper control arms up there. Can you see it? Up
It's
top.
a little dark.
Well, I was talking up here.
Oh, there we go.
I did up brackets and stuff on the upper control arms to make it adjustable. For instance, center, all TRZ upper and lower control arms, they're both adjustable. I actually did the lower so I could bring the rear end an inch back to center it in the wheel well. I got a eBay special anti-roll bar I bought 20 plus years ago and put in there. And car works good, works fairly decent. 138 60 foot has been my best 60 foot so far with this car. We're hoping to get more. Really want to try to get down to a 10-0. And not too much else. It's got a fiberglass deck lid, bolt on. Batteries in the trunk, got a fuel cell in the trunk. A1000 fuel cell.
And of course, you guys saw the hood when I painted it. We did a video on that.
Right, did the hood last year.
I'm kind of lucky that I got to put my touch on it.
Well, it's more appreciative you put your touch on it.
So I'm always lucky when I can help my friends out, and I appreciate the fact that they trust me. So,
Yeah.
well, guys, you can see he's got a great running car, and we figured we'd give you kind of the rundown on it. And you guys, if you know, you've gone to the Norwalk events or other BOP races or seen this car, you know, it's a nice looking car. It runs great. And really, for what it is, it's very impressive. There's guys with a lot more exotic stuff out there that can't run that time. So, we'll, you know, we'll let you guys go. Share, like, subscribe. I hope you like JJ's ride. And if you guys want to see more of this car, then leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe. And I'm sure JJ wouldn't mind showing you his handiwork and what he's going to be doing to this thing, because this car is going to have some serious changes in the near future. So, we'll let you guys go.